ladies and gentlemen, my name is Putty, and welcome back for another edition of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. People are flooding in, the doors are open, the signings have been going on for hours. You know why? Because the wrestling's in town, and it's time for the Fan Festival. Tonight's main event is a huge championship match as Greg Gage defends against the Dread Pirate, Hugh Da Ask, who's promised to bring it back to the Mid-Atlantic of the North, Canada. And also tonight we have a hardcore match as George Wolfe seeks to end not only his rivalry but also the individual himself, Miller Ford. Also on the show we might have a few big stars. I think the Stars and Stripes, not Stars and Stripes, that's a little weird. The Stars and People of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling are here tonight. It is a big show at Fan Festival, the last show before the big tournament, the Sam Keith Classic, next month, our summer sizzler as it were. And aside from that, let's get into the show. Let's let the show speak for itself. We're spending quite a lot of money on the show this month, so I'm not expecting to make a profit or even make a decent loss. But last month we did make a profit, which warms this old heart. Also, next month's going to be really expensive. I'm hoping I don't splurge too badly. I'll announce actually before we start. I don't think I'm going to announce this on the show, but it would have been floating around the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling website over the last couple of weeks. The format for the Sam Keith Classic in this series and this year, it might not be for the entire series, but for this year, we are going to be doing something a little different with the Sam Keith Classic. So obviously, as a small company, like we are, it's very difficult to do a single elimination tournament. I'm going to very quickly mute my mic and blow my nose because I've got quite a lot of stuff in there. One sec. Apologies for that. So yeah, it's very difficult to do a proper single elimination tournament with a small company like this without just being bankrupt. Essentially, you saw how much it cost us to do the Ripcord Invitational. It was a lot of money. So we're not going to do that. Maybe when we're bigger. But for now, but I do want to have quite a few teams involved. Or I want it to feel like a big tournament. So instead of doing single elimination and only having a few teams, we're going to have a group. We're going to have group play. We're going to have a block. I was about to say blocks, but it's a single block. We're going to have 4 teams. They're going to all play each other, and whoever gets the most points, 2 points for a win, 1 point for a draw with a 20-minute time limit, 0 points for a loss, will end up taking home the trophy. So that'll be our tournament next month. Perhaps we will get a few entrants tonight. Of course, we already know the Dynamite Express have entered themselves into it. Let's see if anybody else does. As we start off, it's Roddy. Roddy's back. We give Bradley Blaze another test, and he lives up to it. But Roddy wins with a Remus clutch, with a good old submission hold there. Of course, Roddy, before he took a bit of a break, went back to California to do some wrestling, or had won a tag team match against Greg Gage and was gearing up to try and get a rematch. Greg still hasn't beaten him without a little bit of shenanigans. Of course, the first time Roddy suffered a really nasty injury, and the second time Roddy's foot appeared to be on the ropes, so there's quite a lot of stuff surrounding that. And in fact, he brings that up in his promo and says, Greg, you still haven't beaten me fair and square, and I'll be the first to shake your hand as soon as you do. But I still think I'm owed a title shot, and if some guy called Hugh Da Ask can ride in here on a boat from Canada and get a title shot before I get my rematch, something is definitely wrong with this company. But you know what? It's fine. I'm going to once again prove that I'm the best, because I am officially entering the Sam Keith Classic, and I've got a doozy of a partner lined up. And afterwards, George Wolfe just destroys Miller Ford in a match that wasn't particularly good. Just wrecks him. Nothing much to say about this other than it's vicious, it's bad. Miller gets busted open. It's just a nasty encounter between the two. But possibly that brings to an end this rivalry. George said that he wanted to beat Miller so badly that he would think of him whenever he closed his eyes or something like that. And hopefully that would mean that Miller would never want to ever come near George again. Of course, Miller has proven persistent. This feud has gone on for about 7 months now. And every time George has a big match, it seems that Miller is also there. So we will indeed see. But good on Miller Ford. He picked up a victory over George Wolfe 7 months ago, and even though he has been pretty much destroyed every time they've been together since, you can't really take that victory away from him. And we move on to... Yes, I know you're not good at hardcore matches. Yes, I know. The Architect, who beats Nate DeMarcus with a blueprint. Same style of match we've had the Architect in the last couple weeks. Architect works down Nate DeMarcus, works on his arm a little bit, maybe cracks that shoulder, stretches it out a bit, maybe pulls the finger back, maybe uses the ropes for leverage so he can have a bit more of a submission hold of some sort. Just working down Nate for a good 7 minutes before Nate cracks. Nate's a strong athlete, just busts him open with a shoulder tackle, busts him with some sort of throw, hip toss of some sort, and then is about to perhaps go into his babyface comeback sprint. Just gets clobbered with a hammer or something and rolled up for 1, 2, 3. And the Architect continues his momentum. And he gets on the mic and he says, "George Wolf, you've been dodging me for too long. I've told you months ago that I would be the architect of your destruction, and I have ran through this entire roster. I've beaten everyone that has been on offer to me, and I think it is finally time that we settle our differences." Apparently they have differences. Architect thinks so. I beat Miller Ford, and he beat you, so I think I can beat you. And so, after the Sam Keith Classic is over, I think it is high time we clash. I win, and I go on to bigger and better things, because I am the Architect of the Shield. Wait, what? No. I am the Architect, and I am awesome. And in our main event of the evening, that I completely forgot was coming, Greg Gage defeats Yuta Ask by submission with a Proton Lock. I think this match would be reasonably entertaining, quite a fast pace. You got that smooth, technical grappling of Greg Gage. Yuta Ask with that kind of vicious high flying, like he's doing some nasty kicks off the top rope, maybe some sort of springboard Pele of some. I say Pele because I've watched too much WWE over the last couple of years. It's fucking Pele. The springboard Pele kick of some sort, some vicious, nasty-looking, high-flying maneuvers from Hugh Dask as he tries to just take it to Greg Gage. And all credit to Hugh Dask, he does take it to Greg Gage. He takes it good. And Greg Gage a couple times is like, geez, am I actually... he's looking like a fish out of water, and we still, 7-8 months into Greg Gage's title reign, you can still look at him sometimes in these matches and think, Jesus, he's out of his depth. And he thinks it, and he looks it, and he just lacks confidence at times, but, when he's turned on, he's turned on, and he can do that slick grappling, and once he gets back into it, the more head of steam he gets, the better he looks, and in this match, he manages to put together a lovely set of counters, holds, and submissions that just wear Hugh down, and eventually he catches Hugh. Maybe Hugh goes for a moonsault, and Greg manages to catch him in the Proton Lock, and Hugh has no choice but to tap out. A very narrow match, but it's fair and square, it's clean, but you have that thought in the back of your mind that on a different day, if all the right things had gone right for Hugh to ask, if he had picked up those opportunities, because there were a couple times where Greg Gage did not look confident. There were a couple times where Greg Gage looked like he was in danger of losing his momentum and his style in the match. If Hugh to ask had imposed himself more in those little areas, then he probably could have won. So you think maybe on a different day, maybe if he was a bit luckier, he could have done it. But also, if he goes away and he works on his style a bit more, maybe he could do it, right? It's not just about luck, it's also about the fact that there were a couple of opportunities that he didn't take. He needs to grow as a wrestler before he can beat Greg Gage. But it wasn't completely out of his league. Held him for 20 minutes, gave Greg Gage a real scare a couple times during it. But Greg Gage, still the ace, still the champ, still the Mid-Atlantic champion, still the king, holds on to the title. And he gets on the mic. It's not backstage, it's in the ring, and he says, "Thank you all for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed Fan Festival. It's been a wonderful couple of days hanging out with you guys. I still can't believe I'm the Mid-Atlantic champion, but nights like this really make me appreciate that I am. Because getting to talk to all you guys and the respect that you guys show me is incredible. I don't deserve it at all, but I really do appreciate it, and I really do appreciate you guys. Before I go, I wanted to make one announcement. I will also be in the Sam Keith Classic next month, and I will also have to find a partner. I don't have this cool partner lined up like Roddy seems to, but I'm sure I can find someone who might be willing to put up with me for a night. So again, thank you all for coming, and I will see you guys next time. And I will also see you guys next time. I thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support, your continued support. Even though the series hasn't gone out yet, maybe nobody's watching it. But if you are watching it and you're enjoying it, thank you. I'm glad. If you liked, please feel free to leave a like, check out the rest of the series. And if you really liked it and are feeling especially generous, the link to my Patreon should be in the description. Next time we have a tournament. I'm excited for it. I love tournaments. I hope you guys can join me next Saturday or whenever I decide to post it. And yeah, I'm really bad at intros in this series. Occasionally I get it right, but then I'm like rambling and I've just got to end it, and maybe I've just got to deal with it.